Matchup lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wild-card race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wild-card race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the third time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual one inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wild-card race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wild-card race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The 4th time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The fourth time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The fourth time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wildcard race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.tv beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a battle of 2 second-place teams. The up-and-down Toronto Blue Jays take on the streaking Seattle Mariners in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Jays ace Roy Halladay takes the ball for the Birds as he faces former teammate Miguel Batista for the Mariners. First pitch is set for 7:05 p.m. at Safeco Field. Seattle touched up Jays starter Dustin McGowan early and often. He struggled mightily in last night's matchup, lasting just 5 innings, giving up 8 hits and surrendering 5 runs. Toronto has dropped 3 out of its last 5, and they now stand just a half game up on the Yankees for second place in the AL East. The Mariners are certainly riding high after last night's victory. Closer J.J. Putz has been lights out this year with a perfect save record of 23 for 23. For the 3rd time in his last 4 appearances, Putz put in some overtime, tossing more than just the usual 1 inning. He came in the 8th with 1 out and bases loaded and worked his magic, getting out of several jams. His clutch effort sealed the win for starter Jared Washburn, who went 6 innings and gave up only 2 runs. Roy Halladay is on a personal 4-game winning streak. He has not lost a start since May 10th when he battled the Red Sox. Halladay is 2-2 with a 2.25 ERA in his career at Safeco Field. He's currently 9-2 on the season. The fourth time may be the charm for Miguel Batista to finally win his 8th game of 2007. He's coming off of a solid start versus the Reds, where he held them to 2 runs over 6 frames. Batista is 1-2 against the Jays with a complete game shutout and an impressive 1.10 ERA. Toronto is in the middle of a make-or-break stretch that includes 21 games, 18 of which are on the road. If they're going to make any kind of run in the wild card race, the Jays need to become more consistent. The team will look to Halladay to even their record at 3-3 on their current 10-game road trip. The Mariners hope to have left fielder Raul Ibanez back in the lineup on Saturday. He knows Halladay and knows him well, hitting .318 off of the ace. In 22 at-bats, Ibanez has recorded several hits, including a double, triple, and a home run. It's the Blue Jays visiting the Mariners. Halladay takes on Batista. Game time set for 7:05 p.m. in Seattle. You can see it live on MLB.
Great day here in the early summer to just while away the hours. Walk down to the lake and do a little wading, or if you want to, do a little rowing. Or if you want to, just lie on your back and gather in some rays from the sun, relax and go to sleep if you want to. But wake up now, because we've got baseball. It's time for the Mariners to take the field just about against the Toronto Blue Jays. It is singles night here, and everybody having a good time out there in center field. The Mariners and the Toronto Blue Jays, we look at the standings, and the Mariners have an excellent opportunity tonight. That has not been updated because the Angels have lost. And as we speak to you, the Mariners are 4.5 back of the Halos. A big chance tonight. How are you, everybody? Dave Niehaus along with Mike Blowers. The starting pitching, that's going to be something tonight. First of all, it's going to be ex-Toronto Blue Jay Miguel Batista for the Mariners.
Well, it is going to be Miguel Batista. He was a closer at one time for the Blue Jays, but he's getting the start tonight. He's going up against one of the best in Roy Halladay. See the numbers there across the board, but Miguel, he's got his work cut out for him.
Roy Halladay, an ERA, very, very respectable, a little bit over 4, but nothing like it was in 03 when he won the Cy Young Award. He's beatable, but he's 9-2 on the year. How do you beat him?
Well, I think the first thing you have to do is you have to make him work and hopefully get him out of the game a little bit earlier if you can. Other than that, really, you're going to have to scratch out a run. If you get a runner on third and less than 2 outs, you better take advantage of it because this guy is pretty stingy. You talked about his ERA. He had been sick at one point, injured this year, had a surgery done. I think that affected his ERA. You're looking at one of the best in the business.
Had an appendectomy and came back, I think, like in 2.5 weeks, where most guys are for at least a month. So he's back, and he's very effective. Right now, let's check in and talk about the streak. It's up to 6. Here's Dave Sims.
All right, Dave, thank you very much. Let's take a look at some of the ingredients in this Mariners 6-game win streak. Let's start with what the guys are doing on the mound. First of all, you look at that team ERA at 2.41. Opponents only hitting 2.51. The opposition runners in scoring position average is a glorious 1.82. The bullpen ERA 1.83. And how about the bullpen opposition average? Just 1.45. Now, on the other side, some other numbers we want you to look at from an offensive standpoint. Take a look at these numbers. The team batting average 2.92. Look at the team runners in scoring position average at 3.41. It's producing 6 runs a game. Hey, can you believe this? 4 walks a game for one of the more impatient teams in all of baseball. And, of course, they're knocking out 9.3 hits per ball game. Really looks good as they go for number 7 tonight against the Blue Jays, but they'll have a tough customer on the mound, Roy Halladay. Dave and Mike will be back with the starting lineups right after this.
Evening in Seattle as we get set for the second game of this series of Mariner Baseball, which is brought to you by Safeco Insurance. To find a local Safeco agent, go to safeco.com. Look at the lineups, Michael.
Okay. For Mike Hargrove tonight, Seattle Mariners. You have Ichiro leading off, Vidro. Guillen, look what Guillen's done over the last 3 games. Pretty hot. You see the 5 for 10, 3 RBI. Sexton, Broussard, Jojima, Beltre, Betancourt, Willie Bloomquist getting the start at second base and hitting 9th tonight.
The Mariners last night fell behind by a score of 1-0, and that's something they've been doing in the first inning. However, they didn't wait long to come back in the bottom half of the first as Mr. Broussard, Ben Broussard, singled right back up the middle to get 2.
Now you're absolutely right. Then they decided to go ahead and add on in the second. Jose Guillen, who had a good night. You see the base hit right here to drive in a run. Then, of course, Richie Sexton, he walked with the bases loaded for another run. Good signs for the Mariners.
And then in the 4th inning, Guillen, who had 3 hits, decided to pick up an RBI there. And another run came in to score. That was the last inning. The Mariners were to get a hit, however, and they needed the bullpen.
Well, they did. They needed this man, JJ, one of the best in the business. You can see him strike out Rios. He's not happy about it at all. And then, of course, JJ, he's had to pitch a couple innings here. Gets a double play ball to get out of it. Frank Thomas doubled up, ending in the ball game.
Did you ever do that? Snap a bat?
I tried one time, put a pretty big bruise on my leg.
Okay, the M's and the J's, great to have you with us. And we'll be back with more right after this. Who worked for the Toronto Blue Jays for a couple of years out there to take his warm-up tosses. Let's look at the lineup he's going to face, Mike.
Okay, for the Blue Jays tonight, you have Rios, Zahn, Wells, Gloss, Thomas, Matt Stairs getting the start at first base tonight. You can see the 12 home runs. Hill, Lind, and McDonald hitting 9th. Our scouting report on Miguel. See what he's done in his career. Nice ERA against the Blue Jays. He's located his pitches. The guys playing behind him tonight. Ben Broussard getting the start in left field again, trying to get Raul back. It's been a few days. Ichiro, Guillen, Beltre, Betancourt, Willie Bloomquist getting the start at second base tonight. Richie Sexton at first. Kenji is behind the plate. Miguel Batista is on the mound. See the season numbers for Miguel. His ERA steadily coming down. He's in the 4s now. Hopefully he'll continue to work on that.
Well, he knows the Vernon Welleses and the Alex Rios, having played with him a couple of years ago, pitched for them. Is that a big advantage or not?
I think it is for him, absolutely. Sometimes I think the opposing hitters at times think they have the advantage when they play with a pitcher, but I disagree with that. I think the pitchers pay more attention to the hitters when they're playing with them than the other way around.
All right, here we go. As you look at Miguel Batista, his June mark, 2-2, and a fine 3.34. And as far as the Mariners are concerned, they are closing June on a high note, 17-9. In June, having an outstanding June. We turn the calendar tomorrow to July 1st. So here we go. Getting underway is Alex Rios, the man who snapped the bat over his over his leg last night. Will step in and lead it off, hitting .291. And that's a strike right down the middle. Bob Davidson is the man calling balls and strikes behind the plate. Sam Holbrook at first base, Hunter Wendelstedt at second, and Randy Marsh is around at third. 69 degrees at game time. Very pleasant. Wind out of the north at 6 miles an hour. And a breaking ball a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Batista will throw a lot of pitches. He'll go deep into the count with you. He'll nibble a lot. And he's got the advantage right now at a ball and 2 strikes.
He definitely will. You're going to see some 3-2 counts out of Miguel today because he just won't give in to hitters. But it's been effective for him, even though his walks have gone up this month. His ERA has gone way down. So his command of the strike zone has gotten better, and I think there's times when he just kind of pitches around guys. Almost hit him, but missed him.
2-2 the count now on Alex Rios. Greg Zahn to follow, and then Vernon Wells. Mariners giving up 75 first inning runs, and this is game 77. And again, you talked about 3-2 count. There it is on the first hitter.
Well, you talk about scoring in the first inning. The Blue Jays did that last night, but the Mariners done a nice job. I think the Mariners are obviously a very good club with their bullpen if they have the lead late in the game.
Struck him out. Nice slider.
Well, you're right, Dave. He throws a good pitch right here. Gets in the chase. They probably think he's going to get a fastball and breaks out of the strike zone.
So 1 away, and here's a switch hitting catcher elevated up to the number 2 hole for this game. It's the number 6 hole last night, Greg Zahn. 1-0. Blue Jays with the loss last night, dropping below the 500 mark at 39-40. They are awaiting the return of Lyle Overbay, their regular first baseman coming back from a broken hand. They hope to get him back after the All-Star break. They pick it up in Boston. The Toronto Blue Jays do. And also Reed Johnson, who's had back surgery and been out all year long. There's a strike. 2-1 the count. Change that time. Nicely thrown. Mighty close. Awfully tough pitch to take there. Just foul. The go pitched for the Jays in 04 and 05. And a couple of years ago in 05 was used exclusively out of the bullpen 71 times.
I think he saved 30 games for him one year.
31. And knocked down by Sexton. He'll take it to the bag himself. And of course, he's already won a game in relief for the Mariners. Was that San Diego?
It was in San Diego. Helped the guys out. The bullpen was depleted, and they needed an inning out of him on his throw day, and he went down. Ended up getting the win in that ball game.
So Vernon Wells, the center fielder, the hitter now. And that fastball is up. Batista 60 will fool you. That was 92. He can get the ball up for 94 miles an hour.
He's already topped out at 94 today. I don't know. We didn't see much of that in April. I think as his velocity has gone up, his ERA has come down. That certainly has helped him. And I think that's why you see a lot of bad swings on his breaking ball, because hitters now have to respect his fastball. But early in the season, he was more 88 in that area. And for big league hitters, 88 is a pretty comfortable hitting speed for them.
And out of play. Shot Godin and Rich Harden combined on a one-hitter in New York, and the A's beat the Yankees 7-0. That was 95. And a pop up. Willie Blomqvist going out, giving way, and Guillen will be there to make the catch. And here in the first inning, 2-3, 2 counts. But 1-2-3, down go the Jays. Here come the Mariners.
Again, you see he's been hot lately. Sexton, Broussard, Adrian Beltre, Betancourt, Willie Blomqvist hitting ninth. Our scouting report on Roy Halladay, one of the best in the business. You can see what he's done. 4-time All-Star, won a Cy Young Award, and the guys behind him is Lynn, Wells, Rios, Glaus, McDonald, Hill, Stairs. Zana's behind the plate. Roy Halladay's on the mound.
He's had 5 straight winning decisions as Ichiro steps in and bunts the ball up the first baseline, and he is going to beat it. Matt Stairs couldn't get over there. I thought for a moment it might be just a tad too hard, but it wasn't.
Well, he basically wants to get it by the pitcher and then just outrun him. But Stairs makes a pretty good play on this reel. He tries to tag the base, but you can see he's clearly safe.
Big Matt couldn't get over there, and that will bring up Jose Vidro. So the first pitch, and Ichiro's aboard. He might have some larceny in his mind here in the first. There he goes, and the pitch is inside. Throw through to second base. Steal number 23. Put the pressure on to hurry.
Well, I think so, and I think you need to do that when you have a pitcher like Halladay on the mound, Dave. It's a great call. Ichiro takes off right away, which is even better because now you give Vidro an opportunity to move in the third if he wants to. Because he's clearly safe, but you're going to have to manufacture some runs off of Halladay if you want to have any success against him.
And by the way, this the last day of the month, that base hit for Ichiro, number 116 on the year, but number 45 in June. Showing the bunt, they're taking the bat back, Vidro, and the count at a ball and a strike. Sean Piggins, I see he broke the 50 hit barrier for June for the Angels.
Well, he was off to such a dreadful start. He certainly needed to. I'll guarantee you he had a lot of infield hits too and bunt singles.
He's hitting about $150 when we saw him.
Right.
The Angels, by the way, lost. After tomorrow. And tomorrow, Jeff Weaver will work for the Mariners.
The Angels losing in that ball game. I could not believe it when you told me Paul Shuey saved that game for the Orioles. I played against Paul Shuey. I was surprised to hear that.
Biting pitch right in on his hand. Sean Markham will work for the Blue Jays tomorrow, right-hander. Just a piece of it.
Vitro's been hot lately. Trying to push that average back over 300 again right now. He's just trying to find a ball that he can pull to the right side, move Ichiro over to the third.
And a breaking ball that time. Down he goes. Dave Blowers.
Rally fries. A little early for those. A little early.
Nothing to rally from yet.
No. A little early. A young man from the ball game yesterday that came all the way from Hawaii. He had a sign.
That was a fastball that time from Halladay. Halladay trying to become at least a 10-game winner before the All-Star game. I would think that would put him in San Francisco a week from Tuesday.
I would think so.
Blue Jays sure like those sideburns, don't they?
Yeah. Is it Toronto, Canada? Is that the thing, right?
Gallen last night. Halladay tonight. Well, back into the stands. Don't have quite as big a crowd as last night, but a very nice gathering here.
It's been a nice homestand for attendance. People have come out and watched these guys play well.
And wins.
And wins.
Good eye. 2-2. Texas leading Boston 5-4 in the 9th inning at Fenway Park. Zahn wanting to make sure that he and Halladay are agreeing on this pitch. The 2-2 to Jose Guillen.
Good idea. Guillen has been hot. We showed the highlights of him last night, driving in runs and swinging the bat well.
Breaking ball, and it's popped up off the first base side, and that will ripped away from Matt Stairs. Cubs had their 7-game winning streak snapped today by the Milwaukee Brewers, 13-4 at Wrigley Field. They had a nice little run going.
He gave up 7 runs in the first 2 innings today.
Outside. Nice stop by Zahn.
Well, Jose Guillen's done a nice job of battling this at bat. Gets it back to a 3-2 count. I don't know if he can be too aggressive here with first base open.
Richie next. And a ground ball hit in front of Ichiro, but the shortstop McDonald's going to throw to first. Ichiro is heading to third anyway. Ball not hit hard enough really for McDonald to turn the play on Ichiro at third base. So Ichiro just scooted on to third base. Usually you don't run the ball hit in front of him, but that's not hit hard enough. And here comes Sexton now. Looking for a clutch 2-out hit from Richie. 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays finished second last year. Of course, they lost B.J. Ryan, their closer for the year. He's out. Had a notion. Stayed away from that breaking ball well outside. 2-1. More and more as we approach the break. The Yankees become more and more a non-factor, at least in the American League East pennant race, not in the wild card. I don't think you can say they're out of the wild card race by any stretch of the imagination. Richie fouls it at the plate. It'll be interesting to see what George Steinbrenner does.
Well, Brian Cashman, the general manager, has already said that he won't trade away his prospects. So I guess they're going to be buyers, and if they're not buyers, they probably won't do much of anything.
Routine pop-up in shallow left field, and John McDonald, the shortstop, will take care of it. The Mariners leave a man 90 feet away here in the first. Coming back, Floss, Thomas, and Matt Stairs. No score. Move to the second inning of play. As we mentioned, the Angels lost in Baltimore this evening, and an upgrade of our standings will show the Mariners with a chance to get to within 4 games of the Angels. But look at the wild card race now. The Mariners are even with the Detroit Tigers in the loss column at 33 losses apiece, and only a game and a half back of the Bengals. It could be interesting the rest of the way as Troy Gloss leads it off and takes down low and outside. The Mariners will reach the numerical halfway point of the season, 81 games, on July the 4th in Kansas City. 2-0 on Big Troy Gloss. Nice slider.
And that's an example of what we were talking about, where he comes back. It's 2-0. He's not going to give in, just throw a fastball there. He throws him a slider to get back into the count.
Right back over the mound. So Gloss has the first base hit. Mark Lowe threw a 1-inning simulated game, and I talked to him after that down in the clubhouse, and I said, how'd it go? And he said, fine. I said, well, did you let it go? Did you really let it go? He said, I did on a couple of occasions. Here's Frank Thomas now, and Thomas takes a strike at the knees, 0-1, so he's going to be sent out on the rehab. And I said, well, when you let it go, how'd it feel? He said, well, I only did it twice, and the first time, I'll be honest with you, I was scared to death.
I bet. Young man, huge future.
But it was just fine.
Good. I mean, but still, just, it's a great question to ask, because a lot of guys can't get to that point right away. And if he's able to, even if it's just a couple of times, for a young man, that's his career that you're talking about, it's a hurdle he's going to have to get over.
Mentally, yeah. That's great. Frank takes too far inside, ball 2, 2-1. And his velocity was up from the last time he threw a simulated game. I think it was 86 to 88. And I think this time it was around 88 to 92, something like that. Of course, when we saw him, he was 97, 98.
Yeah, he was as nasty as you can get. But I think, you talked about it, just throwing it a couple of times. Physically, he's going to have to get to a point to where he lets it more, because that's how he's going to build up the strength, is by throwing. He'll get there.
Here comes Big Matt Stairs, the native Canadian, having a heck of a year. Hitting .292, a dozen home runs. White Sox snapped the Kansas City roll. Kansas City had won 5 in a row, and the White Sox beat them 3-1 today. Toward the hole, right there is the first baseman sucks into ground Betancourt for the force out, and that's all on Big Frank. With Gloss moving down to third. Aaron Hill, the second baseman, will be the hitter, and he's been very proficient at driving in runs. He has 45 of them. Jose Lopez, the Mariners' second baseman, had been penciled in as a starter tonight. He came down with back spasms, so he was scratched. And Willie Blomqvist taking his place at second base. There's a double play ball, and there is one, and Willie's throw back to first in time for 2. So no runs, a hit, and a man left. And we go to the bottom of the second. No score. Safeco Field. Dave House along with Mike Blowers moving into the Mariner half of inning number 2. And Big Ben Broussard, who is doing a pretty good job out there in left field in Raul Ibanez's stead as Ibanez recovers from that hamstring injury. Had a big 2 RBI single in the first inning last night. And takes outside from Roy Halladay. 1 ball and no strikes to count. One. One
of the things that makes Halladay so difficult is he has tremendous sink to his fastball, and at times he can get it up there 94 miles an hour. A big breaking ball that he can throw.
Big guy at 6'6". 3 balls and a strike to count. And a high chopper over the mound. That's going to be a base hit, I think. Yes, it will be. I'll tell you, not a bad backhand flip by Halladay either. That was real close.
It was actually, for a big man, that was a pretty athletic play on that ball that was bounced over his head. Caught it kind of over his shoulder and then tried a little flip pass over to first base. You can see the play. He just tries to flip it over there.
Mighty close.
Nicely done.
So both Mariner hits have been infield hits. That chopper off the plate, Ichiro's bunt single, and Kenji Jojima will be the hitter now. And Jojima's had great success against Halladay. Jojima great success against Toronto last year, hitting .423 against them, but went over 3 last night.
It makes sense that he would have success against Halladay. You can see 4 for 6. Halladay's fastball, he likes to run it in on right-handers. We all know Kenji likes the ball in.
Might be 2. Gloss, a low throw, and it didn't give Aaron Hill any shot at all to try and go back to first base. So Beltre will be the hitter. Far outside, ball 1. 1 ball on no strikes. And maybe 2 again. 1. And again, they can't quite turn it. And Uni Betancourt will try and keep it rolling. Mentioned that the Mariners are 10 games over 500 for the first time since the end of the season in 2003. And they are 10 games over 500 because of Safeco Field. They're 10 over 500 at home and 500 on the road. And that's the way you're supposed to win pennants.
Well, that's absolutely correct. If you continue to win at home, win the majority of the series, and just play 500, if you can do that or close to it on the road, you'll be in really good shape when you get into September. And that's been one of the things, in my mind, Dave, over the last couple of years where the Mariners have kind of struggled at home. It's been a struggle for them to play 500 baseball at home, and you have to do much better than that because it's so difficult to win on the road.
.91-mile-an-hour sinker. There's that devilish hard sinker.
Well, you've seen him go to it. I'm sure the double play ball certainly helps him a lot because he throws so many ground balls.
foul this time. Wild West of the National League. Half a game separating the top 3 clubs. San Diego leading the Dodgers 1-0 in the second. Giants 2-1 over the D-backs in the fifth. Congratulations to Barry Bonds, number 750 last night. Too far inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Did you see that home run he hit last night?
No.
Almost double cocked. It was a breaking ball. It was fooled, stopped, and then recocked and hit it out.
The ability to do that is one of the reasons why he's, if not the greatest, one of the greatest hitters I've ever seen.
There goes Beltre outside the throw on the wrong side of the bag, and Adrian Beltre has his 6th stolen base.
Adrian taking out, has a pretty good jump right there. Takes a peek in, see what's going on. He steals the base easily. Really good jump, actually.
Still got that thumb wrapped. Got to be careful with it. Ground ball right to third. Gloss has it, and Troy throws him out. So here in the second, that high chopper hit, 1 man left, and no score going to the third. Safeco Field, no score, moving into the third. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon, the first 20,000 fans are going to take home a pair of Mariners sunglasses, thanks to Lomas LASIK. Be here as the Mariners wrap up their final home series before the All-Star break to take on these Blue Jays at 1:05. Tickets to Lomas LASIK Mariners Sunglasses Day tomorrow afternoon, available at mariners.com. Rookie Adam Lynn takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. And that's down the left field line toward the corner, and it's a fair ball. He caught it. I'm sorry, he caught it. He left my vision. He caught it. Fine play.
A very good play by Ben. You can see he's running. This ball is really slicing away from him. Last minute, he sticks his glove out. Makes a nice catch.
You know, it's funny. I asked him before the ball game. I said, are you becoming more comfortable out there? And he said, yeah. I said, well, which is the easiest ball for you to catch, the slice or the hook? And he said, oh, by far, the ball that goes to my gloved side, which him being left-handed, would be, you know, the right hand, and that's the ball he was talking about. Outstanding play by Broussard.
I know what he's talking about. It's difficult when you've played the infield most of your life, and all of a sudden you're thrown out in the outfield in a big league game.
McDonald pops one into right field for a base hit. You're the Canadian fans here tonight.
Oh, always with the Blue Jays.
Tomorrow is Canada Day, kind of their 4th of July. And should be a big Canadian contingent tomorrow. It's a national holiday tomorrow, north of the border. Proudly here in Seattle, we display the maple leaf. Our very dear friends from the north. Hey? A little low, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. There goes the runners. Fouled at the plate. So McDonald goes back to first base. I was really kind of sorry to see them lose that franchise in Montreal after all those years.
Yeah. Although I'll have to say that I'm happy to see a baseball team in Washington.
Yeah, me too. McDonald goes again, and a pitch swung on and tapped back to the mound. The look to second, but the sure out is at first. So with McDonald going, no shot at the double play. And Greg Zahn will be the hitter.
I'll tell you what, Dave, Miguel Batista has a live arm tonight. Ball is really jumping out of his hand. Throwing 94 pretty consistently. Has really good breaking ball tonight.
Texas hangs on and beats the Red Sox. So the Red Sox have lost, what, 4 of their last 5. A little bit outside to Greg.
Why, for me, it's a little bit surprising. See Seattle sweep Boston, and imagine they lose again. And the Yankees going in today, we're still 11 back. They're not doing anything to help their own cause, that's for sure.
Easy play for Richie to run it to the bag, and a hit, but nothing else. So as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, still no score. We got a dandy. Identical, except the Mariners are now coming up here in the bottom half of the 3rd as we have no score. And Singles night out there in full blast out at the landing out in center field. And as we go to the third, Willie Blomquist, late addition, leads it off against Roy Halladay. 1-1.
Willie's been hot lately. 6 for his last 10, has his average up to 282.
Second home run of the year with Boston in the other day.
Missed his inside the Parker that he hit in Houston. Very close play at the plate.
No, not really. Down low and outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. As I recall, he did slide. I don't think he had. It rolled up the hill, up Towles Hill.
Right center field.
Yeah. Is that going to get out of play? No, but it's also not going to be caught. And by the way, congratulations to Craig Biggio. I think we mentioned it last night. 3,000 hits and 5 for 6 the other night in that extra inning ball game.
I think that's a pretty huge milestone. I think you're going to see that become less and less guys trying to get 3,000 hits or getting that mark.
And that's fouled off the first base side and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm talking about the Yankees. You think the Yankees would deal A-Rod? Or who? Somebody wanted to.
Oh, I think there's a lot of clubs that would. Oh yeah, I think a lot of clubs would like to have him.
Low throw. And a good play over at first base by Matt Stairs. So Blomquist is gone for 3.
Well, we all know Willie runs well. It's a nice play by Hill.
Ichiro, the bunt base hit in the first inning.
I think somebody would take Alex. Of course, you know, money's a factor with him, but I don't. If a team's in it, I don't see why not. I think the Yankees would deal him too, but I don't know.
Well,
that he.
I'm thinking in terms of a team like the Angels.
Yeah, I can see that. How long is Willits going to be out? Do you know?
Toward the hole, and that's a base hit.
Willis was hurt the other day when he ran into a wall. I'll take another look at Ichiro. Just pulls it in the hole. So it jammed him a little bit.
Yeah, his 40th multi-hit game.
And the reason why I asked is because you have Figgins, who's been playing some third, and you can put him in the outfield if they pick up Alex.
And that's a sinker on the outside corner. Derek Jeter just turned 33, over 2,200 base hits. Certainly is a good shot at 3,000. A-Rod is only 100 behind. He's going to turn 32 this coming month in July. And there he goes, and it's swung on and fouled.
He definitely had the base that time. He had a great jump off of Halladay. I don't think Zahn had any chance. He might not even try to throw it. Well, if that's the case, those guys are probably, what, 5 years away? At least knocking on the door in 5 years. Finish this season up and average 150 hits a year. 5 seasons will get you right there.
This time Ichiro does not go, and the pitch is way inside. 2-2. Hard stuff. Got him that time. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Second strikeout. Both times, Jose Vidro the victim.
See, swings right over the top of him, gets a piece of it, but Zahn's able to hang on to it.
A pitch out. And he throws it away. And that's down the right field line and on into the stands, I guess. And one base only.
See if maybe hits the tarp and bounces into the stands.
Took a couple of hops and went into the stands.
Yeah.
Halladay's given up 8 home runs.
Well, this is when he's been tough so far tonight. The Mariners are over 4. The runner in scoring position.
Just got a shot of John Gibbons talking to Norm Charlton before the ball game, and you were. He said that he played high school baseball in Texas against John Gibbons.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't think Norm would have been too much fun to face in high school.
And that's going to be out of play.
You know, when he was originally drafted, he threw hard. Probably pretty wild. And I know he didn't care if he drilled you. Originally signed by the Montreal Expos.
Big Frank. He was a member of the 500 club. That's a tough pitch to fight off, but he did it.
He did it. It was on his knuckles right there. He just got him out of there. What makes it so tough is he has such good movement. He can run it in there on your hands, but he has one of the better curveballs you're going to see. The ball comes out of his hands. It's difficult really to see which direction it's going to go in. He starts burying that thing in on your knuckles. It really opens up the outer part of the plate for his slider or his curveball.
Breaking ball and a towering high fly ball in deep to left field. Adam Lind is there, however, right where the grass meets the track to pull it in, and the side is out. A hit, an error, but no runs, and after 3, we have no score.
in Seattle. The best man, hyphenated, better man. And it's the in for this gentleman right here. So he says. He and the crew. And enjoying a little baseball. Dave Sims joining in with Mike Flowers here now in the 4th inning. Runs at a premium, no question about it.
Well, you felt like it was going to be that way with Roy Halladay on the mound, and really you should have thought it would have been that way with the way Miguel has pitched in the month of June. He's been awfully good, and today he's got his game tonight, throwing 94 miles an hour, doing a nice job with his breaking ball. So it's been a pitcher's duel so far, and I think it'll probably remain that way.
Playoff type atmosphere like we had in that Boston series. Vernon Wells leading off here in the 4th. 3-4-5 for Toronto. Wells, Gloss, and the big hurt Frank Thomas. Vernon Wells flew out to Guillen to end the 1st inning. And now Miguel. Miguel's 3-0 to Vernon Wells. Back to the strike, 3-1. From Miguel Batista, former Blue Jay. Some starting work, some closing work up there. Swing hit to deep right center field. Back goes Guillen, and he has it. 1 out in the 4th. Miguel Batista's last 6 games, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 no decisions. A lot of good work. Here's Troy Gloss. He singled to center his first time up. Gloss playing pretty good third base as well, Mike.
Well, he's made a couple of nice plays today. I think you were talking about hits and runs being at a premium today. One of the things that Miguel's going to have to watch against, especially if this game stays tight like it is don't forget the Blue Jays are 2nd in the league in home runs. So you certainly don't want to walk guys, and long ball can cost you, especially in games where maybe you're not putting together a bunch of hits. All of a sudden somebody hits a long ball and you're losing the ball game. So he's going to have to be real careful, especially with the guys in the middle of their lineup.
Inside the Gloss, you got Wells with 9, Gloss with 11. Thomas with 13 homers, and Stairs with 12.
Last pitch by Miguel, 96 miles an hour.
He's throwing significantly harder since the beginning of the year. I don't remember him topping more than 92, 93 since that first week or so.
I made that comment earlier in the ballgame, and I said, you know, this month he's steadily gotten up there to where he was actually hitting 94. Now he's consistently throwing that, Dave, and we've seen 95, 96 just in this at bat alone. And I think at one point this year, early in the season, he was 88 miles an hour in that area.
And that opener, his first game against Oakland, he lost 9-0, 4 2/3, 10 hits, 8 runs, all earned. I know he wasn't throwing as hard then, that's for sure.
No, he definitely didn't walk out there with the stuff that we've seen this month. But you know, if he can continue to throw the baseball as well as he has, he's got a chance to really do something. We were talking about his ERA going steadily down. And
well, here he is, 3-2 to Gloss. Miguel had a stretch where he won 3 consecutive games at Tampa Bay, at the Angels, and Texas. Batista high low today 95 and a low of 78 on the radar gun. 3-2 again to Gloss, and he walked it. 1 out, runner on. Frank Thomas will stand in. Second walk of the day by Batista's first batter walked was this man right here, the big hurt. Pitched around Frank. He wanted no parts of Frank. With Gloss on in the 2nd inning. Here's the first pitch. Right down the middle. Strike 1. Here's your active home run leaders. Bonds hit 750 last night. Next on the list, on the 500 club list, 504 Eddie Murray. Mel Ott at 5'11". Oh, way inside. Frank just got out of the way.
Just wake him up a little bit.
That he did.
Frank doesn't like the ball inside anyway, so this is certainly going to get his attention. He's never liked it in there.
He's a big momentum guy, big weight shift guy, front foot hitter. Another thing I like about Batista, he will come inside. Two and one, trying to set up something away. Keep Frank from diving across that plate.
You mentioned that he gets out on his front foot, so there's some movement there, and he has some long arms, so he wants to get extended. You just got to jam him up. Here he goes. He's going to go away now.
Slice foul, 2-2. Frank Thomas, two-time American League MVP. 303 batting average. Got a great eye, too. He walks as many times as anybody. Especially, it's extraordinary for a power hit.
Well, there was a time where he was putting years together where he was consistently hitting 320, 330 for an average.
2-2.
Along with those home runs that we saw, the 500 home run. He's hitting for an average. And it's not because he's legging any of them out, I can tell you that.
He wouldn't argue with. He wouldn't argue with on that one. No way. This is the 6-3-2 count for Batista. Frank got a piece of that. That's foul. Now you look at Frank's numbers. As a full-time player starting in 1990, 330, 318, 323, 317, 353, 308, 34. I mean, and on it goes. Got hurt his last 2 years in Chicago.
What's his career average?
Came in at 304. Going into last night's game, it was 303. Scary, isn't it?
Yeah, just when you throw those 500 homers on there.
That one's hit high to center field and not real deep. Ichiro was playing him almost in the next count.
The wind's picked up a little bit too. Really knocked that one down as high as Frank hit it.
2 outs here in the fourth.
You can see the flag starting to pick up a little bit.
Almost coming in straight from left field. Here's Matt Stairs. It's doubtful he's ever cheated himself with a swing. At 5'9", talked to him before the game. He says, hey, 5'9", I'm going to try to hit it as far as I can, try to swing as hard as I can every time. Backs him off the plate, ball one.
Yeah, he's always had that leg kick, dude. Big leg kick, and you're right. He's swinging hard and swinging up.
Batista back with a strike, 1-1. He said the wind was at 6 miles an hour. Seems like a heck of a lot more than that.
And that's picked up since the game started.
Matty sends his regards, by the way.
It's good to see him. Glad he's doing well. 12 home runs. Talks to him about him being a Canadian playing in Canada.
Oh, yeah. His daughter's a big gymnastics star. Here's a strike. I asked him, I said, were you good enough to make the NHL? He said, well, I don't know about that, but it's pretty good. Pretty good player. 2-2. Stairs put up some good numbers. A high of 38 home runs with Oakland in '99 with 102 runs knocked in. That's been with Montreal and Boston, Oakland, Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, Texas, Detroit, now Toronto.
You say whether he was still a part owner in one of the teams in Mexico? Talking about
no, I didn't get to that.
Maybe he's not, because he used to bring it up himself. You didn't have to ask me to talk about it.
There's a base hit right field. So the Jays, number 24 on first base and number 25 on second base with 2 outs.
You know, Matt, he typically is going to pull it, and he finds a pitch up that he can handle. It's a line drive into right field.
He's getting to play because they have so many injuries on this Toronto club. He thought he was just going to be a little DH, pinch hit here and there, and he's wound up playing a fairly regular basis. Here's Aaron Hill.
I would assume against right-handers that'll continue.
Batista trying to get out of a 2-on jam. Ball 1 to Aaron Hill. Leads the club in doubles with 22. He bounced into a double play back in the second inning. Aaron just 4 hits on this road trip. Started out, club did 2-2. They split a 4-game set in Minnesota. 2-0. A lot of Canadian noise here in Safeco. Good crowd on hand on Saturday night. Pretty big pitch here, 2-0. Missed, 3-0. Inning started with Wells flying out to right. Lost, worked a walk. And we look at the on-deck hitter, Adam Lynn. Frank Thomas flew out to right. Stairs, a 2-2 base hit to right. First and second, that's where we are right now. Gets the inside corner, 3-1.
This is when you start to get a little bit concerned. He's coming up on 30 pitches for the inning, and typically pitchers, that's when they start making some mistakes. You can see what Hill has done with men in scoring position. Very good.
Hit a long way, but foul. That was almost on cue. He's 30 pitches to 5 batters this inning, and he's got 4 full counts this inning. Strikeout would do him good right now.
We got some action on the base paths. 3-2 count, 2 outs.
Houston needs a big pitch right here. Won it now outside. Hit on the ground right to Betancourt. Backhands. He'll throw across. Inning over. Batista escapes a 2-out situation. Nothing on the board and a scoreless contest. Come on, Rich, you're ineligible for fries. Come on.
No broadcast for fries. That might be the most pathetic thing I've ever seen, Ricky.
Rick Riz, that guy over in Como Radio. Richie Sexton to lead it off. Breaking ball is in there for strike.
I guess we'll have to put him on the list.
Yeah, I guess so. Taking reservations now. At the end of the bat off of Ben Broussard. Glad Ben was paying attention. Richie Sexton, 3 for 11 career against Halladay. Boy, he's missing, and he misses. When he does miss, he misses down. I mean, he's not keeping anything up there.
Everything
kind of
he
mistakes.
throws works that way.
Yeah.
It's pretty steep, too, you know, the way he throws. Comes out of his hand.
Foul back. Ten games over 500. Pretty good.
Really good.
Going for 7th consecutive win. 1-2 to Rich. Hit in the air to left field. And play by Adam Lind. 1 out. Hey, watch the second half of the Mariners season in confidence style from the newest hotspot at Safeco Field, the All-Star Club. Call us before July 10 and lock in a plan that fits your schedule for the rest of the summer. For more information, log on to Mariners.com this weekend or call us at 206-346-4001 during regular business hours. Here's Broussard, and Ben bangs out his second base hit of the night. First one didn't leave the infield. 1 out base runner for the M's here in the 4th. 4th hit of the night.
Ben's really done a nice job since he's filled in for Raul while Raul tries to mend and get healthy again. Ben's done a nice job.
Ben's got his batting average up to 289. 2 for 2 tonight.
I think one of the things we have to consider with Rick Riz and the fries is that sign was on the back of a full pizza box, which I'm sure he's already covered, so I'm not sure he really needs those fries.
Genji.
Ooh, nasty.
Big swing and a miss. Genji reached on a fielder's choice back in the 2nd. The M's win. He's hitting 369. When the M's lose, he's hitting only 218. Popped up out of play. And he was up around 330. He's down to 303 right now. Had some success against Roy Halladay. 4 for 6 entering tonight. 0-2 pitch. Bet the Angels losing.
Yeah. The Orioles sent Paul Shuey out there to save it for him and ended up beating him.
M's 4.5 back now. Can get it to 4 with the win tonight.
And it'll be another series win for him.
One out, runner at first. Ben Broussard. Adrian Beltre on deck. Beautiful night here. Breezy. Still beautiful. Here's the 1-2. Pulled the string on him. Strikeout victim, Kenji Jojima. 3rd strikeout for Halladay. 2 outs here in the 4th. Bring up Adrian Beltre. Beltre reached on fielder's choice back in the 2nd and stole 2nd as well. Swing and a miss. Boy, that's a nasty pitch.
Well, you know,
late movement.
Yeah, and he's tall. He's 6'6", and he throws across his body. And said the movement on it's late. You know, he doesn't have a Cy Young award and go out and pressing to win 20 games every year because he doesn't have really good stuff, and he's just nasty.
Halladay's 9-2 with a 4.25 ERA entering today. Won 5 consecutive games, 10 quality starts, and 14 opportunities. And the ball club responds to him quite well. They're 12-2 in his starts. He's one of the elite pitchers in the game. Here's the 1-1 to Beltre. Hit on the ground to Gloss. Gobbles it up. And that'll do it for the M's here in the 4th. Pitching battle, and a good one here at Safeco. Here at Safeco, Dave Sims, Mike Blowers with you. Got a lot of candidates for rally fries tonight, Mike. Could be a good choice. Yeah. Meanwhile, we got a heck of a ball game going. Playoff style atmosphere. They just broke it up, but that was a good one. We'll get back
more
to
and more creative all the time. I like the effort.
There we go. Baby wants some rally fries. Daddy needs a brew. Mommy wants an autograph. Grandpa wants one too. Hey, Blowers, we're two wild and crazy gals.
It's that night.
Yeah, it is. Bottom of the order for the Blue Jays, 8-9-1. Adam Lind, John McDonald, Alex Rios back up top. Back up the middle. Uni can't get it. Base hit. Yeah, father and son getting together.
I like the mask.
Pretty good. Both teams with 4 hits this evening.
It's the second time the leadoff hitter's been on for Toronto. Rick Loss led off the second inning with a base hit, then a walk, and Miguel was able to get out of it.
Rams have turned a double play tonight. John McDonald ready to go to work. He's 1 for 1 tonight. 4 for 13 on this road trip. Good job to keep Lind close. Lind 1 for 3 in base stealing this year. Infield looking for 2. Bunt popped up. Kenji's got it. 1 out as the runner Lind retreats.
Well, you take a look at it. Pops it straight up in the air. Nice play by Kenji. No problem.
Lost start of bunting. M's will take it in this case. 1 out, runner on. Alex Rios, strikeout victim, and bounce back to Batista. John Gibbons, the manager for the Blue Jays, couldn't say enough good things about this kid, how he has developed. 17 home runs, 45 runs knocked in, leads the ball club.
And he's also leading off doing that.
Yeah, how about that? Staph infection kept him from the All-Star team last year. Good breaking ball by Batista. He's ahead 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Batista very conscientious about holding runners on. Not much of a lead. He's gone. 2 outs. Big strikeout for Miguel Batista.
That was just a great pitch. You watch this pitch, it'll start inside, and Rios gives up on it. Comes right back on the plate. Nicely done, right on the corner. No argument.
Second K tonight for Miguel. Both Reyes. 2-hole hitter. Greg Zahn, the catcher. Swing and a miss. Greg Zahn's twice bounced out to Richie Sexton. Well, the M's at 10 games over 500. Boy, they get out of this series. You got Kansas City. Now, Kansas City, of course, spanked the Angels last week. And then you got a battle with Oakland. But they can get into this All-Star break in terrific shape. Keep this run going. Hit on the ground. Richie's right there. Third time that Zahn has grounded out to Richie Sexton. Inning over. In a scoreless game, the Jays and the M's. Nice play by the big fella. Hey, Blow, let's get this fried party started.
I would say that was appropriate for tonight. No run scored.
Yeah, boy, Halladay has been tough.
He has all the pitches, and they're all plus pitches.
Got 3 strikeouts on the night. Vidro twice. Here's Uni leading off. Little gap shot. Takes a big turn.
Nice play by Vernon Wells.
Bedcourt leads off the 5th with a base hit. 8, 9, and 1. Take a look at Halladay's line to this point. It's been no good. 5 hits, no runs, no walks, 3 Ks in 70 pitches. Willie Bloomquist will stand in, and Bloomquist an excellent bunter. Loss charges at third, and Willie takes a strike. Getting the announcement on Horacio Ramirez outing at Tacoma. We'll get that to you shortly. Bloomquist, a late addition to the lineup, with Jose Lopez coming down with a sore back. Klaus charging at third. Halladay throws over. Mariners have had a runner on in every inning. Ichiro has reached as far as third. Willie shows bunt, gets it down.
Perfect.
Beauty. Sacrifice 1-3 for Bloomquist. Well done.
Well, he can do so many things to help your club, and this is just textbook right here. Dave was telling you about Gloss charging hard, so the easiest way to do it is to bunt it over to first base, and Willie does a nice job of that. Ichiro so far tonight with a couple of hits. If he can get one right here with a runner in scoring position. Mariners so far tonight 0 for 5.
Guys going through their warm-ups out in the bullpen. Brad Arnspark, the pitching coach, going over some things with Halladay. Ichiro 2 for 2 tonight. He's now 7 for 24 career against Halladay. Ichiro third in the American League with runners in scoring position, batting average of .433. Magnificent year. Leads in spent all the significant offensive categories for the M's. 1 out, runner at second. Playoff type pitching duel here tonight. Fastball in there for strike. Ichiro started the night 364. There's your runners in scoring position. Average behind Ordonez and Jeter. Change up way outside. Only Maglio Ordonez has a better average entering today's action. 375 for the Detroit right fielder. Halladay coming up on pitch number 76. Bounced up there, 2-1. Bettencourt led off with a single to right center. Bloomquist sacrificed him over. His third career hit off of Roy Halladay.
Look at where the right side of the infield is playing. It's a pretty good sized hole over there.
He turns on one, sure. Here's that big hole. Off the plate. They'll never get him. No chance. Base hit.
He'd have been better off letting that ball hit the ground. He's going to have no chance of making a play, and this one might have gone foul. I'm sure he's upset with himself. Probably thought about it after the fact, but
Ichiro 3 for 3, 2 infield hits, one a gorgeous push bunt. Now this top, look at this thing.
yeah, just take a look at it. It's right. Look how high in the air it is. No chance to get him. You can see where he catches that. I think that ball probably would have went foul. Hits it right off the plate.
Super ball bounce. Here's Vidro, who struck out twice. Got a chance to give the M's the lead right here. Broken bat. Little parachute jab. Runner's going to come. Here's Bettencourt to throw. He's in there. Mariners take a 1-0 lead on the short sacrifice fly by Jose Vidro. 1-0 Mariners. And he's still carrying the bat handle.
This is a really good call by Carlos Garcia, the third base coach. Normally you wouldn't send a runner with a ball hit this shallow. You can see it just shatters his bat. But with Halladay on the mound, you don't want to take the chance of having the next guy have to get a 2-out hit. Why not make this guy make a play? And you can see this throw is wide of home plate. Yep, he's telling him to go.
Good coordination, and Uni, as you know, runs very well.
Well, he does, but really, he was putting it on the outfielder to make a play. If that throw's on the plate, Uni still would have been out even with his speed. But Carlos just put it on him. And I think with Halladay and the way he's throwing, take a shot at it.
Pitch out, nothing doing. You like to pitch out right after? I mean, do you like to steal attempt right after pitch out situation like this? I mean, stolen base attempt, I should say. I get it backwards.
Well, what I like is to try to steal the base early in the count, so you give the hitter an opportunity to do something. You know, if you're in a 1-1 count or a 2-1 count and you go and he takes the pitch and all of a sudden he's just 2 strikes, you're not giving him much of an opportunity. So I like it. He's going to take the bag, take it early.
1-1 again. One precious run may be enough. Let's see.
You have to keep in mind too that Toronto's bullpen is really good also. Their ERA is second in the league, so those guys out in the bullpen have pitched well. They're not going to give up a whole lot, or at least you can't expect to get much off of them.
And certainly ride their bullpen as well as anybody. 1-2, 2 outs. Runner at first, Ichiro. Runner goes. Foul. Ichiro, third in the American League in base stealing. It's 22 out of 24. Look at Halladay, 30 years old, out of Denver, Colorado. Won 5 consecutive games. Probably thinking about that little chopper off the plate by Ichiro. It cost him. One fouls another one back. That did cost him. Miguel Batista getting a good rest. He'll be facing 3, 4, 5 in the Toronto order in the 6th. Runner goes. This one hit to right field, and back goes to right fielder Rios, and he makes the catch, crashing into the wall. Good ride by Guillen. Better play by Rios, but Mariners put a run on the board on the sac fly by Jose Vidro. 1-0 Mariners. Over the Blue Jays, it's time now for rally fries. Who are you going with, Flo?
Well, here comes Kira. She's bringing them down. We've made our decision. You know I always go with the kids. Kid with a mask on. A couple of guys with disguise. But the selling point was Dad actually putting the mask on, too. So I felt like they were the winners. Dad with the mask on.
Let it go, Dad.
I'm sure there was some heavy negotiating by the little guy there for that.
There we go. Of course, the fries provided by the good folks at Ivers. That kid's good for the ride home now. So Batista has a run to work with here. Will work against Vernon Wells, Troy Gloss, and Frank Thomas. Third time through the order. All right. Now they're going Lamont Cranston on us. And
oh, Dad couldn't wait to get that mask off, please. Hopefully our good friend Rick Riz isn't too upset over that.
I think he'll live. We've revealed
There's Ricky.
Ricky. We've revealed who the Shadow and Shadow Jr. are. Rick Riz. Not tonight, Rick. But keep trying. All right. Well, he tell his wife when he goes home, what'd you do? Well, I helped. Got dressed up in a mask and somebody gave me some fries.
No, they just want to get on TV there. Good idea. Throw a mask on. All right, Miguel here going through the heart of the order. Again, you have Wells and Gloss and
Big Frank.
Big Frank.
3-1. Lost it. Third walk tonight by Batista. He struck out 2. Troy Gloss got a base hit to center and walked tonight. There's a comparison in this pitcher's duel, Halladay and Batista. Batista's walked 3 and no free passes issued by Halladay. Rams have turned 1 double play so far tonight. Fouled back by Gloss. It's been great for me seeing a guy like Halladay in person. You see him on TV, he's way more impressive in person. A lot of Canadian fans whooping it up here. Inside the net hitting. No, it didn't. But it was close.
How did it miss him?
Yeah, really.
I thought it hit him in the leg.
Wild pitch is going to get the runner down to second, Vernon Wells. So 1-1 to Gloss, and now Wells is in scoring position. Pretty good speed. And the person of Vernon Wells. Big at bat here. Fouled back. Another good crowd on hand, 36,102. A good homestand for drawing fans to the ballpark.
Phil plays him straight up. Ichiro shading him over towards left center field.
Huge gap right center. He better pitch to his defense. 1-2. Time is called. Vernon Wells on the season is 5 out of 8 base stealing. Signed a big free agent contract to stay with the Blue Jays. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Gloss. That misses. 2-2. The base hit earlier tonight. Gloss just his second base hit on the road trip. 2 for 18. 2-2. Couldn't get him the chase. Count runs full. Frank Thomas on deck.
Frank so far tonight has walked and to fly out to center field.
A piece of iron he's swinging. Tees the set. 3-2 pitch. Sent to right field. Guillen. Long run. Foul territory. Makes the catch. Here's the throw. Boy, that's a good looking throw. Just a little bit late. And the Blue Jays have a runner at third with 1 out.
He has a great arm out in right field. To tell you, maybe if the stands aren't there, he might have had a better chance, but he's getting close to him. You can see the people standing there. This is a great throw.
Good
no
footwork.
chance to get. Yeah, well, it's just excellent across the board, but not a chance to get Wells with his speed.
Frank Thomas. Infield in. 1-0 Mariners. Strike one. Take a look at the active RBI leaders entering today. Got Messrs. Bonds, Sosa, Griffey Jr., and Frank Thomas. An elite crew.
You can see the infield playing in.
1-1. Thomas has homered twice in his career against Batista. Knocked in 4 runs. Couldn't get him to bite. He's got an excellent eye. Frank has walked a team best 49 times. Hit in the air, not particularly deep. Ben Broussard settles it. Make that. Ichiro comes over. Ichiro comes over. Here's the throw. There could be a play at the plate. He is safe. The score is tied at 1. Frank Thomas delivers. Frank Thomas with RBI number 39.
It's amazing how much the two pitching efforts have mirrored each other tonight, and then they score on basically the same play. It's a fairly shallow fly ball. Ichiro does the right thing and calls Ben off. Ichiro with the better arm, but then he throws it wide of the plate, and Kenji in his hurry trying to get him back, but he gets it, but the ball comes out.
Yep.
You take a look, he tags him, does the right thing, covers up, and he has it, but then he kicks it out of his glove.
2 down here in the 6th. There's Matt Stairs. One ball game. 1-1 to Stairs. The Blue Angels went for another month. 2-2 to Matt Stairs. Yes, the walks do come back to get you, don't they? A walk, a wild pitch, moved up on a fly ball and scored on a sac fly. Vernon Wells. Now 3-2 to Matt Stairs.
Been really careful with Matt. He's trying to hit that outside corner.
And he loses Matt. That's his 4th walk, 2nd this inning.
Chavez is going to go and have a chat with him. Maybe all up to 102 pitches. Really throwing a nice ball game so far. Hill tonight. It's grounded into a double play and grounded out to shortstop.
Nine full counts tonight for Bautista. He's recorded 6 outs and 3 walks. Long conversation. Jose Vidro's sac fly scored the Mariners run. 2 outs in the 5th. Scored Betancourt. And now Frank Thomas sac fly. 2 outs here in the 6th. He's got Toronto a run. Strike 1 to Aaron Hill. Sean Green starting to get some action. Breaking ball fouled off. So 0-2. .105 coming up. Here's the 0-2. Hit right on the line to Beltre. So the Blue Jays tie it up 1-1. We head to the bottom of the 6th. One for the M's in manufacturing a run, Mike.
Well, they start off with a base hit by Betancourt, and then Willie, of course, lays down a perfect bunt to get him to second base. Ichiro with another infield hit. Probably a mistake by Halladay to field this ball. It might have gone foul. Then a shallow fly ball. Nice aggressive call by Carlos Garcia, the third base coach, to send him. Throw is wide, and the Mariners score.
One ball game. While we were showing that first pitch swinging, Richie Sexton grounded out to the second baseman Aaron Hill. So 1 down here in the 6th. That'll bring up Ben Broussard. Ben's 2 for 2 tonight. Infield single and a single to center. Halladay back with a strike. It's 1-1. And this is where he doesn't get hurt. And this after missing some time. He had an appendectomy back in May. And yet here he is 9-2. Winner of 5 consecutive games. 2-1 to Broussard. Hit the other way, base hit. Ben's 3 for 3. Broussard's got an infield hit, a base hit up the middle, and a base hit to left.
Troy Gloss playing way off the line over at third, hits it inside of the line where Troy was playing. Nice play by Linden left field to keep him at first.
Kenji Jojima 0 for 2 tonight. He struck out his last time up on a 1-2 pitch. Kenji hitting an even 300. To Kendrick. 1-1 to Kendrick. Here's your out distribution, and if we were in Canada, up in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, they'd probably have 8 G's out. Most guys they put up K's, but Halladay throws so many ground balls. That's what they put up. Here's a hit and run. Blouse will be happy to get the 1 out. Dug out by Stairs. So 2 away here in the 6th.
Both clubs tonight 0 for 5 with men in scoring position. Both runs scoring on sacrifice fly.
Here's Beltre 0 for 2 tonight. 2 for 12 career against Halladay. Batting average down to 256. Strike 1. He doesn't throw a straight ball. I mean,
no.
2 4-seamer. Slider, curve, sinking fastball. Broussard at second with 2 outs. Back up the middle. That's a base hit. Broussard's going to touch third, wave him around, and he's going to score. RBI single for Adrian Beltre. Mariners take the lead back at 2-1.
Dave, you're talking about all the ground balls. This is a ground ball. Sometimes they actually find holes, and this one does right up the middle. Another ground ball, but it finds a hole. Adrian Beltre with an RBI to give his club the lead.
32nd RBI for Adrian. And here's Betancourt. Started the 5th inning off. Base hit to right center field. Broussard a 3 for 3 even. Strike 1 to Uni. Ben Broussard has his batting average up to 296. He's 3 for 3 tonight. Killer Bees have done well this year, haven't they? Bloomquist with a sac bunt earlier. Matter of fact, he's on deck. His last time up, he moved Uni up to second. Beltre just with a big hit. Jamie Burke coming off the bench. Done some good work. Popped up, out of play.
Adrian Beltre had a stolen base back in the 2nd inning.
Last Sunday, when Jamie Burke was in the lineup, Mike Hargrove had 5 B surnames at the bottom of his order. Broussard, Betancourt, Burke, and Bloomquist, and that one gets away from the catcher's on. Beltre takes a big turn. He'll hold there. Wild pitch charged to Halladay.
Halladay's up 97 pitches and nothing doing out Toronto's bullpen. It's typically the way it goes. This guy will go deep into ball games.
Beltre on the wild pitch is at second. Betancourt with an opportunity to pick up a run here. 1-2 pitch. Fights it off. Miguel Batista going to have a lead when he comes back out.
Really pitched well tonight.
We're talking about Halladay going deep. He's gone deep his last 4 games. 7+, 7, 7 1/3, 8 and 7. He went 10 innings earlier in a win against Detroit back in April. Betancourt stays off it. 2-2.
See the left-hander Downs. Yeah,
Scott Downs
getting ready for Ichiro if he comes up in this inning.
Betancourt rifles one into left field. Here comes Beltre around third. He'll score easily. The ball's booted out in left field. And now the Mariners have a 3-1 lead on the RBI single by Yuniesky Betancourt. He's 2 for 3 tonight. About these Mariners. Uni's 29th RBI.
A couple of big out, 2-out hits right here. First Beltre, then Betancourt, and you can see he boots it, hits it right off the heel of his glove. Adrian running the whole way.
2 outs and Willie Bloomquist. Willie shoots one right side. It had played that way. Rios coming on. It's going to drop in. Betancourt goes all the way to third. Big uprising here in the 6th by the Seattle Mariners. 3-1 with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Willie's gotten it done tonight. A sacrifice and now a base hit. He's 1 for 2.
See, he hits it right off the end of the bat. It dies in a hurry. Rios, no chance to catch it. I don't know if Downs had enough time to get loose.
Ichiro takes a narrow 5/100ths of a 5/100,000ths of a lead for the batting chase. Mariners now 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position. 10 hits and all singles. They do add up. Ichiro 3 for 3. Bottom of the order's done big damage on Roy Halladay here. 3-1. 2 outs in the 6th. Strike 1 to Ichiro. 7th hitter coming to the plate for the Mariners. Misses 1-1. Ichiro remarking before the game how Halladay has nothing but out pitches. He's on. Makes it tough for a hitter, but he solved him tonight. 3 for 3. Two and 1. There's your runners at the corners. 2 down. Here in the 6th. Ichiro pops one up. It's playable. Gloss in foul territory. Records the out. Nevertheless, a big inning for the M's. They get a couple of runs and now have a 3-1 lead over the Blue Jays. fans get some FaceTime tonight here on a Saturday in Seattle. Hey, the fun is going to heat up at Safeco Field this July with two great events. Friday, July 27th is Oberto Ichiro Hydro Night. There's 20,000 fans take home a U51 Ichiro collectible Hydro. And Sunday, July 28th, we turn back the clock to 1977 in the inaugural Mariners season with retro uniforms, special features, and a great cap giveaway. Get your tickets to these exciting events right now at Mariners.com. And no, I'm not breaking out any leisure suits. Let's end that right there. We're talking about turn back the clock night, 1977. Batista back out there.
Well, Mike's not wasting any time. Miguel comes out, has 107 pitches right now, so Sean Green starts throwing right away. Miguel's throwing a great ball game so far, but if he gets in any trouble at all, I'm sure he'll go get him with his pitch count getting up there around 110.
2-1 to Adam Lind, 8-9-1 here for Toronto. Last time Miguel got into the seventh, it was back on June 13th in Chicago. This one hit in the air, not too deep at all. Willie Bloomquist out, Ichiro in, 1 out. Miguel back on June 13th. That was a tough one too. He lost that 3-2 to the Cubs, 7-5 to the Cubs, beg your pardon. And that was a 7-inning performance. 9 hits he gave up, 3 runs, 1 earned. That made his record 7-5. I read that incorrectly. It's a 3-2 loss to the Cubbies. Is Flaherty, the lefty. It was 5-0. Here's McDonald, who's 1 for 2 tonight. Jason Frazier, he's warming up for Toronto. Howie Clark is pinch hitting for McDonald. We saw Howie in a pinch hitting role last night. That's a base hit to right. The Blue Jays with 1 out, going to get right back in it. Sac fly by Frank Thomas, scoring their only run tonight against Batista. Top of the order, here's Alex Rios. Struck out twice, 0 for 3.
With the way Miguel's been throwing, Mike would like for him to get through this inning, because then you go to Brandon Morrow and George Sherrill to match things up in the 8th. Of course, turn it over to JJ. Strength of this ball club. Sean Green getting loose. Eric O'Flaherty.
Here's the 1-0 to Rios. Missed away.
JJ should be going to the All-Star game.
It's as good a lock bet as there is. Inside, Batista falling behind Alex Rios, guy who he struck out twice tonight. He didn't come close. So now here come the Blue Jays right back. Runners at first and second. And here comes Mike Hargrove. That'll do it for Miguel Batista. Miguel, all in all, pitched pretty doggone good game.
It's a great game. Get the Blue Jays off the scoreboard long enough. Give the Mariners a chance to get the lead. It's going up against one of the best pitchers in the league, Roy Halladay. I thought he pitched well tonight.
Fifth walk. And they're going to make the move. There's Jim Slayton, the bullpen coach. Doesn't matter which one they want. They want the lefty. And it's Eric O'Flaherty who's going to get the call. And Miguel Batista gets a nice hand from the Mariner fans. Here at Safeco Field, Mariners have a 3-1 lead and try to get out of the jam here in the 7th. Against the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays here in the 7th with a couple of runners on. Miguel Batista pitched well.
I thought he was outstanding tonight. You can tell he knows that the Blue Jays try to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Here's a double play that really helps him out. So he was very careful tonight. He had 9-3-2 counts. It was a nice pitch. Strikes out Rios, but he was very careful with the guys trying to keep him in the ballpark.
Well, while we were away, Eric O'Flaherty thought he was getting the call. Oops. Here comes Sean Green.
Nope, the other guy.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by your Western Washington Toyota dealers. Sean Green's been a rubber arm guy of late, huh?
Well, he has been. I think you look at the lineup, he probably is trying to save O'Flaherty for Stairs.
Right.
He's a left-handed hitter because you have Wells, Gloss, and Thomas, all right-handed hitters hitting after Zahn. Zahn, who's a switch hitter, is hitting about the same from both sides of the plate this year, 240.
Let's see what it gives here. Greg Zahn is 3 times bounced out to Richie Sexton. Runners at first and second. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. 3-1 Mariners. First pitch from Green's a strike. Sean Green's only faced 2 of the Blue Jays. Matt Stairs is 0 for 2. Matt Stairs 0 for 2 against Green, and Frank Thomas is 0 for 2. 0 for 2 against Sean Green. Genji thought he had a strike. 1-1.
The Blue Jays tonight, they're 0 for 5 with men in scoring position. Bring Sean Green in because of his sinker and hope he can get a ground ball. Get a double play and get out of this inning.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Three runs on 10 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the Blue Jays. Way outside, 2-2. Mariners trying to win their 7th consecutive game. Already at a high water point now at 10 games over 500. The Angels have lost, so a win against Roy Halladay and the Blue Jays would get the Mariners to 4 games behind first place Los Angeles. Look out. Now the teams are set right now in the American League West. Angels, Mariners, Athletics, and the Rangers. Green would love a double play ball in this 2-2 pitch. Up high, just missed 3-2. Waiting on deck is Vernon Wells. Wells tonight 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 3-2 to Zahn. Right up the middle to Betancourt for one. Double play, inning over. Nice job, Sean Green. He fielded his position beautifully. They get a 1-6-3 double play. The second DP tonight for the Mariners. It's 3-1 M's as we go to the home seventh. They just get out of a big jam. Hey, the defending American League champion Detroit Tigers. They bring their title of defense to Safeco Field after the All-Star break. 4-game series that includes Star 101.5 Girls Night Out on Thursday, July 12th. And JJ puts Growth Chart Day. That's Sunday the 15th. Thanks to Avoderm and Pinnacle. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. Roy Halladay's evening is done. 6 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. New pitchers, Jason Frazier, his 30th appearance. 29-year-old out of Chicago, Illinois. Bryce Clayton's in at shortstop now. Veteran who's been around both leagues, still can pick it. Jose Vidro, Guillen, and Sexton for the M's here in the 7th. Vidro came up big in the 5th. He had struck out twice in his first 2 at bats, and then he comes up with a sac fly to short left field. And it was good enough to plate Uni Betancourt. That was in the 5th inning. And that's when the M's took the lead. Toronto tied it in the 6th, and then the M's regained the lead with 2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Fastball misses from Frazier, and he's way behind here, 3-1.
Frazier has a good fastball. He's 95, 96 miles an hour. Pretty sure he's going to go right at Vidro here.
That he did, and he gets a base hit to left field. Jose puts it in play here. Lead off the 7th. Hit number 11 for the Mariners.
Well, Jose Vidro typically hits the ball the other way from both sides of the plate. 3-1 count, gets a fastball out over the plate, bangs it in the hole over there.
The ring of Jose Guillen is 0 for 3. Ground out to short, fly to left, fly to right. Big night last night. He's got a 3-game hitting streak on the line. He went 3 for 4 last night with 2 runs knocked in. Jason Frazier's been tough. Struck out 23 batters his last 20 innings of work entering tonight. Fastball down low. Good to have Jose back in the lineup. Missed a couple of games with some elbow problems. Keeping Vidro close, but Jose is not going anywhere. John Gibbons, the manager for the Toronto Blue Jays. Mariners really swinging the bats. Fastball misses. Guillen is 1 for 2 against Frazier career. 2-0. Jose would like to take one for a ride right here. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Mariners with a 3-1 lead. Bottom 7 looking for some insurance runs. Breaking ball misses. 3-0. Richie Sexton looming on deck. See if they turn him loose. Foul back. Jose's last home run was in Houston back on the 16th of June. It was his 9th. Done pretty well though. He's got hits in 21 of his last 31 games. Entering tonight. Here's the 3-1. Now back again.
Well, you would think that with Frazier throwing a lot of fastballs, pretty straight too. Guillen likes to hit the fastball. You think this would be a good matchup for him. Got a couple pitches to hit and missed them both. There you can see he's a little frustrated by that.
Seventh inning. Vidro at first. Nobody out. 3-1 Mariners. Frazier's ready. Here we go. Ball 4. Now this sets up Richie Sexton. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. Last thing John Gibbons wanted to see was Frazier come out of the bullpen and put the first 2 runners on, but that's what he's done. Sexton's been productive during this homestand. So for 3 tonight. 10 for 36. 5 home runs on this homestand. Breaking ball for strike.
Well, they have the lefty up to pitch to Ben.
Talent gets ready. Broussard has had an outstanding night, 3 for 3. 1-1 to Sexton. It's among the leaders in home runs in the American League. Batting average, not where you'd like it, but 15 home runs leads the ball club. 47 RBIs amongst the leaders. It's a strike, 1-2.
After getting a breaking ball over for strike one, he's come back with a couple of fastballs. That last one on the outside corner.
If you're Richie, what are you looking for here?
I'd have to look for a fastball.
All right, see what comes. 1-2. Fastball inside, 2-2. Runners at first and second. Jason Frazier is on to replace the starter Roy Halladay. Hit the other way. Hit pretty deep into the corner. Rios is not going to get it. Fair ball. Vidro being held up at third. Sexton's caught between first and second. Everybody's good. Now it's a loose ball.
The umpire called the play dead. I don't know if I think it was a ground rule double or fan interference.
First base umpires Sam Holbrook. And Vidro will score. Here comes John Gibbons.
See if we can take a look and see where this ball ends up. You can see it hits fair. I couldn't tell.
So ground rule doubles the ruling. So Frazier ineffective. First 3 men reach. Brian Talent's going to come on. Vidro was stopped by Carlos Garcia as Richie Sexton was hung up between first and second, but the play was blown dead. Ruling of a ground rule double. 4-1 Mariners. We're in the 7th. And they're looking for more. Runners at second and third. Ben Broussard, a 3 for 3 night. Oh boy, he tried to get a big 3 on the board there. Ben is facing left-hander Brian Talent, 29-year-old out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. 24th appearance. Good opponent's batting average against. That misses. Broussard got an infield single in the second, base hit the center in the fourth, base hit the left in the sixth. He came around to score on the Beltre RBI. Guillen at third, Sexton at second, infield up. Hit into center field. Sexton's going to touch third. Here he comes. Here's the throw to the plate. And in time, a two-run base hit by Ben Broussard. A 4-for-4 night. And the Mariners have a 6-1 lead.
Well, everything going right for Ben tonight. See this pitch almost slips on the swing. Looks like his front foot came out of him. And hit it real hard. Ends up in center field. Nice read by Richie. Able to score on the play. Nice night for Ben.
Broussard, his night done. 4-for-4, 2 runs knocked in. Jason Ellison will run for him and stay in left field. So the bullpen has failed Toronto tonight. Frazier now Talent. Kenji Jojima. 4 hits in the game, ties a career high for Ben Broussard. John Gibbons, ball club in danger of falling 2 games under 500 now. Talent pulled the string on Kenji, 1-1.
Well, the Mariners already scored 3 runs in the inning. Still nobody out. Imagine with this kind of lead. Probably send Sean Green back out onto the field.
No question. 1-1 to Kenji. Breaking ball misses away. 2-1. Here's the 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Adrian Beltre's on deck. Get an RBI single back in the 6th. Not close. First and second, nobody out for the Mariners. Sixth hitter coming to the plate for the M's. These kinds of explosions against a good pitcher, and then get into the bullpen. The bullpen's been good for Toronto, and now the Mariners pulling away. 5-run lead.
We talked about it earlier in the game. The Blue Jays bullpen, their ERA is second in the league. They've been great this year. Mariners finding a way to do some damage.
There's the Toronto pin. 0-1 to Beltre. Hit the other way down the line. Matt Stairs will make the play. Runners move up. 1 out. A couple of runs out there for Betancourt. Again, an RBI base hit off the 2-2 pitch in the 6th against Halladay. Scored a run in the 5th. 8 of the last 10 and 9 of the last 12 M's have reached base. Infield in again, 1 out. 13 hits tonight by the Mariners. Way inside. Jeff Pentland, hitting coach for the M's. He'll be bubbling over on the outside, but he's got to feel good about his crew with 13 hits already. Fouled off by Unit.
Well, it seemed like they get double-digit hits every night. Looked like that might be a difficult thing to accomplish tonight. But all of a sudden they score 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and now here 3 in the 7th, trying to add on to that.
Mariners started today 3rd in the American League behind the Angels and Tigers in batting, 283. A lot of smiles in that happy dugout. Then we start at 4-4 night. Knocked in 2. Scored a run as well. Well hit left field. Going back is Lind. He's there. Tagging is Ellison. He'll score easily. 7-1 Mariners. On the sac fly by Yuniesky Betancourt, his second RBI of the night. It's 30 on the season. Big 4-run inning here for the M's.
You're right about that. It was a pitching duel the whole way, and all of a sudden it just exploded this inning for the Mariners. Betancourt doing a nice job.
Bottom of the order being productive. There's Bloomquist with one more RBI on the table. See if he can bring one. Strike 1. Look at the hits per game, 9.3. This during the 6-game winning streak. That's entering tonight. You got 13. Now push that average
walk
up.
Total going up too at 4.
How about that? Willie, a little punch job. Here comes Kenji, rounding third. He'll score easily. Willie Bloomquist with an RBI. And the M's making an 8-1 game. First 5 hitters reach base and have scored.
This base hit makes him 6 for 13 and in scoring position tonight, almost 500. Really with a couple of hits tonight. He's really been hot lately.
2 for 3. He's extended his personal hitting streak to 4. Here's Ichiro, the 9th hitter of the 7th inning. He's 3 for 4. Those are some sweet numbers there, boy. 14 for 31. Is that going to sit? If it sits, it's 15. Nice play. Vernon Wells inning over. Tremendous damage done here in the 7th. A big 5 spot on the board. 8-1 Mariners. Here at the ballpark, 8-1 Mariners. And are you ready for your 2007 Major League Baseball All-Star Game? Well, tune in to Fox for all the action live from San Francisco, Tuesday, July 10 at 5 p.m. Pacific time. This one counts. Well, Mike, you give out the fries. Next thing you know, the M's blow it up. Not a bad deal.
Been unbelievable. This homestand has been. They win this ball game. It's 9-2 on the stand.
I know, that's really that is sweet. Going for the 7th consecutive victory. Sean Green now here in the 8th. We'll look at Wells, Gloss, and Thomas. His assignment: throw strikes. Mariners with 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 5 in the 7th. Smoke to left center field. Ichiro will not glove it. To the track as Wells will get a 2-base hit. His 21st of the season. You want to do fries on the road, Mike?
They bring a sign. Why not?
All right. Look for you Mariner fans in Kansas City and Oakland. And you baseball fans watching on the MLB package. Satellite dishes around the country. That's right. People are out there saying you don't necessarily have to be a Mariner fan to be fries. Just have a nice sign. We might consider barbecue in Kansas City. Strike loss. 1 for 2 with a walk. At the right field, it drives Guillen back. It's at the track, makes the catch. Wells will tag and take third. 1 out. So 1 out here in the 8th. 8-1 Mariners. Frank Thomas. Got Toronto's only run on the board with a sac fly in the 6th inning. That tied the score at 1. Mariners added 2 in the 6th and 5 in the 7th for this 8-1 lead. Strike 1, Frank. Frank with a walk and a sac fly. A fly out the center, so he's 0 for 1 tonight. You played against Frank when were you in the game? Play a deep third when he was up there?
I was never worried about him laying down a bunt. I can tell you that. Nice pitch.
Started it behind him and catches the inside corner. 1-2. Way out front. Vernon Wells at second. Leadoff double. Took third on the fly ball by Glaus. 1-2 to Frank Thomas. Base hit and another RBI for Big Frank. It's 8-2. The big hurt coming through.
Well, after a couple of breaking balls, John tried to get inside of his kitchen with a sinker, and you can see Frank jams him a little bit, ends up getting a base hit.
And with Matt Stairs, the left-handed hitter coming up. Mike Hargrove out to the mound. A couple of RBIs tonight for Frank Thomas, gives him 40 as we look at Eric O'Flaherty. And this time it's for real. This is an actual alert, and Eric O'Flaherty, you are needed. Sean Green. Nice stint by Sean. This with the newspaper is going to be a nice experience. 4 for 4, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Good work this Saturday night. Got the infield hit. Halladay probably should have let that second baseman get that one.
I think so.
And he gets a base hit up the middle. That was in the 4th. 7th inning, he goes the other way. And then in the 8th, couple of runners on. Bingo. Base hit up the middle. Just enough. Gets that drawn in infield. 2 more runs score. Part of the big 5-run 7th inning for the Mariners.
Now has his average over 300.
They bring in O'Flaherty. His 24th appearance. 5-0. Opponent's hitting just 185. He'll pitch against the veteran Matt Stairs. 1-0. That hits this one high in the air. Ichiro retreating. Looks like he is going to make the play right in front of the track and does. 2 outs. Two down. Runner at first. Frank Thomas. We're going to start a good hoop team right there. 6'8". Richie Sexton, Frank Thomas about 6'5", 6'6". Yeah, that'll have 2 of the tallest wideouts ever. Aaron Hill 0 for 3 tonight. Flaherty working quickly. Back with a strike, 1-1. Tapper. Betancourt will throw out. Hill by a very slim margin. So Frank Thomas gets another RBI. But the Mariners have an 8-2 lead. In on their 7th consecutive win to go 9-2 in this homestand. And Sunday home games mean big savings for seniors. Mariners fans age 60 or older can purchase view reserve seats for just $10 to any Mariners Sunday home game. The next Senior Sunday is tomorrow afternoon as the Mariners and Blue Jays wrap up their 3-game series here at Safeco. For tickets, call 206-622-HITS. That's 206-622-HITS. Here's Jose Vidro to lead it off in the 8th. Vidro's come on nicely after striking out his first 2 times up. A sac fly, then a base hit to left and came around to score. On an RBI by Richie Sexton. Curtis Thigpen is the new catcher. He replaces Greg Zahn. Talent is the 3rd pitcher. for Toronto tonight. 2-1 to Vidro. Good catch, the fastball.
A little bit of a strange game. I was all prepared for JJ tonight. I don't think we're going to see him.
It's good for the M's. He gets another day's rest.
Right. Day game tomorrow.
Sure. Vidro, Guillen, and Sexton here in the 8th. That's well stroked to left field, giving chase, and tracking it down is Adam Lind. 1 out here in the 8th. There's Guillen, who's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored tonight. Three hits, 2 runs knocked in last evening. Ball 1. So that Milton Bradley got cut loose by the Athletics, and then the Padres picked him.
A lot of health issues with Oakland.
Well, also,
You know, couldn't stay on the field for him.
had a little minor run in the other night with Bob Guerin, the manager. Billy Beane settled it all and saying, you know what, we're done with this. See you later. Three and 0 to Guillen. Three one. Sliced the other way and out of play. Richie Sexton on deck. Popped up over our heads. Back in April, baseball agent Scott Boras wrote a letter to Commissioner Bud Selig talking about, let's get a 9-game World Series, couple of games at neutral sites. Sort of went away. Now it's resurfacing, we're told, on a couple of websites. And there's a 3-2 to Guillen, hit on the ground to the shortstop, smothered by Royce Clayton, throws him out. Trying to create a Super Bowl atmosphere with the World Series. A 9-game series. I think 7's plenty. And the way the calendar's going now, it's getting so late into October. It's almost into November. It's almost to Election Day, for crying out loud.
Let's consider the weather a little bit. You know, you get a couple of clubs in there.
You
Northeast
Detroit last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know.
I'll be going to warmer games, football games that are warmer than the baseball game, for crying out loud. Played a 9-game series in 1920, and then that was dropped. Of course, the Black Sox, Chicago White Sox, and the Cincinnati Reds. That was a 9-game series. Of course, they were playing 154 games then, and then going right to the World Series. And have all the layers we have now. 1 and 2 to Richie Sexton. Swing and a miss. Sexton goes down. 1-2-3 inning. But now the M's can close it out here in the 9th, leading 8-2. telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers with you. Safeco Field, 8-2 Mariners. 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 5 in the 7th. Eric O'Flaherty will go against Adam Lynn, Royce Clayton, and Alex Rios. Swing and a miss. Big E is ahead, 0-2.
Eric with a pretty good fastball tonight, 93, 94 miles an hour is fastball.
Breaking ball way outside. Well, Miguel Batista gave the M's 6 1/3 innings work, 5 hits, 1 run, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Hit the other way, right to Beltre. 1 out.
It's an absolute rocket to Adrian. See it right on the edge of his glove, almost a snow cone down there.
Well, chocolate or strawberry syrup on that. Nice grab. Here's Royce Clayton. Came on as a defensive replacement. His first at bat. Royce appearing in his 52nd game. Been around with the Cardinals and Giants, among other teams. Breaking ball outside. Eric O'Flaherty. Hit the other way. Foul ball. Where's Clayton? His 15th year in the bigs. Giants, Cardinals, Rangers, White Sox, Brewers, Rockies, Diamondbacks, Nationals, Reds, and now the Blue Jays. Broken bat to Beltre, 2 down. A couple of varieties here in the ninth for Beltre.
I told you Eric's throwing hard. He gets deep into Clayton's kitchen, shatters his bat.
Well, the fans loving this. 36,102. I know there's a good number of Canadian fans here, but the majority of these folks are Mariner fans. And the M's closing in on the 7th consecutive win. Strike 1 to Rios. Ball 1. Heck of a win tonight by the Mariners. Go against an elite pitcher in Roy Halladay and end his 5-game winning streak. Hit on the ground, foul.
Oh, Miguel Batista just flat out pitched him tonight.
Sure did. M's with plenty of offense tonight. 14 hits. Here's the 1-2 to Rios. Just barely stayed alive. Tried again, 1-2 to Alex Rios. Popped up, playable, long run, and it's going to drop in for a base hit. Rios to second base, and he's going to try to get a third because nobody's covering third, and he'll get there.
Adrian went over to back up the play, and it happened to hit Rios and ricocheted further into left field.
So it's going to be a double and an error on Willie Bloomquist. First error of the night by the Mariners. 2-base hit for Rios. His 20th double of the season. 2 outs here in the ninth. Curtis Thigpen swing the bat for the first time. And he hits one up the middle. That's a base hit. It's going to score a run. An RBI for Thigpen. 8-3 ball game now for Thigpen. That's his 4th RBI. Two outs in an 8-3 game. Here's Vernon Wells. Strike one. Vernon doubled to center back in the 8th. Scored on the Frank Thomas base hit. Vernon's twice been driven in by the Big Hurt. Flaherty tried to get him inside. Nothing doing there. 1-1. Goes. The pitch misses. 2-1. Indifference. Allowing Thigpen to take second. Long night. That lady right there pretty much said it all. A game 3 hours and actually 2 hours and 59 minutes right now. Flaherty's now 3-1 to Vernon Wells. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th, an 8-3 Mariners lead.
Starting to get a little bit of action out in the Mariner bullpen.
3-1 pitch. Broken bat. Beltre off his chest. Ball game over. Mariners win 8-3, their 7th consecutive win. They take the first 2 of this series. A 9-2 homestand. Mike, they go 44 and 33, 11 games over 500. Now only 4 behind the Angels.
Well, and in a night when you thought maybe it'd be tough with Halladay on the mound, Miguel Batista goes and out pitches them. The Mariners go and sweep the Red Sox and now have a chance to break the brooms out again tomorrow.
9-2 in the homestand with 1 to go. 8-3 Mariners. Back to talk about it. This 3-hour contest at Safeco right after this.